Welcome back to the Filthy Report. My name is Jason Filthy Jones, bringing you the dirtiest information with the cleanest style. Let's get geeked up. Hey guys, if you're into anime, do I have an anime for you tonight? If you guys haven't heard about this anime that hit the scene back in July 2019 on the American side dubbed, then I don't know what you guys have been missing, but you need to listen up about this one. It's called FireForce, created and illustrated by Atsushi Okubo, the famous illustrator that created Soul Eater, Soul Eater Not, and also Bleach. He's a fabulous and mind-boggling with his illustrations. And when I'm talking illustrations, I'm talking about his creative style and his creative art design for doing his mangas and animes. Now, the story takes place in Tokyo in the year 198, the solar year, about a boy named Shinra Kushikabe. And this isn't your typical story. It's kind of a kooky, crazy story where the kid joins a fire force, and it's not your typical firefighters. They fight not only fires, but spontaneous human combustion. Now, I know you guys are like, wait, what did he say? Did he just say spontaneous human combustion? Hold up and listen up to this. It's not your usual, I'm walking down the street, explode, and you're gone. No, when they do spontaneous human combustion in this show, they turn into actual demons. Fire demons that incinerate anything in their eyesight. They have no care, no heart, and no soul. So, if you guys haven't caught on to this anime, you need to. It's out already on Toonami and Crunchyroll, and I think it's also on YouTube and partially on Hulu. But to give you guys a little bit of in-depth about this, of why I'm talking about it is, it also comes with a sad story. Recently in the manga, Atsushi Okubo, the creator of the manga, decided to report in his notes that he's looking like he's gonna start wrapping up the manga, which they're just starting off on season 2 in America right now, but they've already wrapped season 2 in Japan. So which means by this, that he's gonna adapt the manga ending into season 3. That's not only the sad part about this. The other sad part about this, he also announced that he'll be walking away from the manga and anime scene. Nobody really knows why, but I'm gonna tell you guys this, that's the end of a freaking era for him, because the illustration stylings of Soul Eater, Soul Eater Not, Bleach, and also FireForce is not being created by anybody else. So if you have the time and you have the chance, either pick up the manga or go check out the show. And trust me, it's gonna keep you on the edge of your seat the whole time. The stories are so kooky and crazy. And if you're into Naruto or Fairy Tail, or even Black Clover, then trust me, you'll be into this one too. Stay tuned, stay watching, and let's get on to the next subject. I wouldn't be right if I didn't talk about this comic book that people have been patiently waiting for years to come out and waiting for it to hit the shelves. Taking stories from back in the 80s from the Detective Batman, Killer Joker, or even Red Hood. I'm talking about none other than DC's Black Label, the Batman 3 Jokers. The story being told by Jeff Johns, and the artwork and coloring being taken care of by Jason Fabuk and also Ed Anderson. If you guys haven't heard about this comic book, it hit the shelves just a few weeks ago. Now guys, this is not your typical Batman story. This is a spine-tingling twisted story that keeps you wanting just more every single time you turn the page. Whenever you're reading this book, the colors, the artwork, and the storyline just jumps off the page at you. Now, they also bring in Batgirl and Red Hood for this book, and it keeps you kind of mysterious, and I'm not gonna give away a lot of the story right now because I want you guys to go read it. I've only read this first book, and I already have the second and third book on the way to the house because I can't wait for them to get here. Every single twist and turn, it brings you back to the Killer Joker, the Red Hood, making you wondering what the story's about and what the plot. And the plot gets thicker every single page you turn. Now guys, wait for the rest of the information that I'll be giving out on this book on the next few episodes after I read the next couple of books that are coming out. So make sure you guys pick up DC's Black Label, Batman 3 Jokers. It's on the shelves now, and if you can't get it off the shelves, go ahead and order it on Amazon or maybe Midway Comics. Now, on to the net. Now guys, I wouldn't be doing my channel any service if I wasn't talking about the most anticipated show of the year and the most anticipated season of the year. I'm talking about the show none other than from the Star Wars universe, The Mandalorian. Now, guys, with Disney being so tight-lipped about it, there hasn't been that much information released about the show and about the season that's going on. Now, I will let you guys know that the season 2 will start October 30th, 2020, and it's going to be a season you don't want to miss. Because heading up this season of directors is none other than Jon Favreau. And if you guys don't know who Jon Favreau, he's the original director of Iron Man. And he also brings to the team Peyton Reed, the original director for Ant-Man and Ant-Man 2. And rounding out the team would be none other than Robert Rodriguez, known for directing Desperado and assisting on Death Till Dawn. Now, guys, Disney has really just taken the gloves off and said sit back and relax and watch the show, because they're now saying that they're giving an unlimited funding to the Mandalorian. Now, with the unlimited funding, what they're planning on doing is opening up the Star Wars universe. They're not only using this as a launch pattern for their series shows, they're also using it as a launch pattern for their new movies coming out. And with the name of the directors that I just announced to you guys, I mean, the endless options of where they can go with this story. There's so many pathways, and knowing that they're planning on trying to do a Darth Maul spinoff and also an Obi-Wan show, everything is looking like it's coming together, and it's going to be just great for the storyline for Star Wars. Star Wars universe has such a vast universe. And not trying to give you guys any spoilers, but I will be talking about the rumored characters that are supposed to be coming out this season would be none other than Ahsoka Tano, the young Padawan, Bo-Katan, another Mandalorian, and also the biggest Mandalorian of them all and the biggest rumor of them all, Boba Fett, to be making an appearance. But I've also heard that it could be somebody disguised as Boba Fett making an appearance in this season. Where does it go? I don't know. What we do know so far is that part of this season will be taking place on Tatooine. We've seen this from the poster and little information coming out in little trailers here and there. So guys, if you haven't catched on to Mandalorian, go jump on Disney Plus now and binge watch season 1 to get you prepared for season 2 coming out again on October 30th, 2020. That's going to be The Mandalorian season 2. I'll be watching it. You guys should too. And I can't wait to hear back from you guys. Let me know what you guys are anticipating in the comments. Now on to the news. Now guys, I don't know if you guys have heard, but Regal Cinema is going to be closing their doors. And this seems to be a trend going on with a lot of movie theaters right now. And with that news being announced, there's only sadder news that's hit the scene. With DC and Warner Brothers announcing that they're going to be moving some of their biggest silver screen movies on the back burner right now, meaning that they're pushing back the dates of these movies that were supposed to be releasing in 2021 and also 2022, and pushing back some of the movies even for 3 to 4 years, and some being even taken off the movie listing. The one thing I have to say that came out of DC's reports is that HBO Max series has acquired DC Universe. With bringing that to their series means that they're bringing a lot of the streaming shows like Teen Titans, Young Justice, Stargirl, Doom Patrol, and also Swamp Thing, and now they're talking about actually making a Green Lantern series. Now, with that happening, I'm hoping this keeps DC alive, because DC has been hitting a rocky road very long now with their up and down movies, going back to back with some movies hitting and then some movies just completely fizzling out and dying. Now guys, the one thing that comes from my opinion is that I wish that actually DC and Warner Brothers would split so DC can get complete creative control of their universe and be able to tell the stories the way that they want to tell them. I'm talking from their animation, their live action, and also their live action movies. But with that being said from DC, it seems that Marvel's going a whole different page by continuously rolling out more and more information with their new Marvel Cinema link up. Like the biggest thing that's been announced this week, Spider-Man 3. I don't know if you guys have heard, but Jamie Foxx is coming back, and also Mr. Tom Holland himself is teaming up with Tobey Maguire and Andrew Griffin in the Spider-Man universe to an unseen perspective that they've never talked about before. That also brings in the works with them teaming up with Doctor Strange in the Spider-Man universe. I don't know if you guys understand how big this is, but it's huge. It means that Disney and Sony are actually working together to produce their movies and make the Marvel universe a huge universe. So be ready for that coming out and more information coming on that on later episodes. But moving on to the next, with talking about Marvel, I gotta talk about their Marvel comics. Now guys, I don't know if you're a comic book geek like I am, but I'm the hugest comic book geek out there, and I can never pass up on an X-Men story. Now, what they're doing is bringing a blast from the past. I'm talking like what they used to do in the 90s comic books with the X-Men event called Sword of X. This X-Men event is going to go across a multitude of the Marvel comic books. I'm talking from X-Factor, X-Force, Avenger, New Mutants, Mutant X, all kinds of storylines that are going to be. So stay tuned for more information about that as I start picking up the comic books and reading it and bringing the information to you guys on the Filthy Report. But with that segment closed out, guys, I have to get to a serious segment. And it really saddens me that I'm going to talk about this, but I feel like it's a need that needs to be talked about. There was something that happened to the comic book scene and the cinema scene of comic books that hurt really bad and hit really hard. And that would have to be none other than the passing of Chadwick Boseman. Now, through the storylines and articles that I've been reading and hearing, I hear people talking about how they're just praising Chadwick Boseman just for his parts in Black Panther, and he hasn't really done that much. But you guys, it's not about that. The reason that all of us on the geek side with the comics and the movies and everything are praising Chadwick Boseman is like, he's just like a Robert Downey Jr. Perfect role for Robert Downey Jr. was Iron Man, and the perfect role for Chadwick Boseman would have to be Black Panther. He carried on a mantle that nobody else could, and it's going to be really hard to fill his shoes. I can't wait to see where they go with Black Panther, and I am happy that they're continuing it on. But I will tell you guys, don't ever discredit the man for all the work he's done. He's done famous cinema movies like playing Jackie Robinson, also playing James Brown, and multitudes of other movies. But I will tell you guys, I will never forget the man, and I will always honor the man by being one of the stars, leading cinema actors out there that carried on a mantle for black actors more than anybody knows. His story is goes so in depth and so different from most other actors. So please understand that he's going to be greatly missed and greatly treasured by every single comic book person out there and every single cinema person out there that loves comic book movies. But with that, guys, I normally close out with my normal slogan. But tonight, I'm just going to tell you guys, please like and subscribe, and please share the Filthy Report. With that, I would like to play homage to none other than Chadwick Boseman and letting you guys know, Wakanda forever. Till next time, guys. Peace.